When we talk about blockchain adoption, we often point to TVL. When I talk of TVL, we look at transaction volume. We also talk about GitHub comments. This metrics really matters to us and then to all of us. But for working with Cardano and another blockchain for several years in governance, education, and community building, I've learned a simple truth, very important for to share with you. Most blockchain products do fail not just because of a bad code or not well marketed, but because they fail to build for real impact or for real communities. So we expect you to or your projects to be different in this angle. Now let's look at where blockchain meets reality. Very important. I work closely with some communities, educators, some professionals, and sometimes most SMEs, as I may mention earlier on, that is small business owners, which I'm part of. Many of them have never heard of the word DeFi. Probably, maybe some of you might come to present on the word DeFi. Some of them, some do not even trust a bank fully. I'm one of them, let alone blockchain. So when we hear the word crypto, most of them, when they hear the word crypto, they often think of speculation, scams, right? I think last week we had the Attorney General giving a brief report on how they are able to save about 5 million US dollars, right, from crypto scam through the one centralized exchange known as the OKS. So this is why some of these SMEs don't just believe blockchain. So this is where many blockchain projects miss the mark. With both systems assuming high bandwidth, constant connectivity, deep technical understanding, and high risk tolerance. But real users live in a different conditions. They care about trust, simplicity, relevance, and survival. If your project requires let's say, a Discord server or a minimum, let's say, a minimum article for people to understand it, or you have to present a 30 minutes or 15 minutes YouTube video for people to even understand your project before they adopt or accept it, then you are not building for the users. You are building for insiders. That is, you are building for your colleagues. To see that. Real world impact begins when we stop building for ourselves and start building for the user whom we claim to present or to serve. So if you are here, most of us is using voting DApp. I'm a direct, so I will be using that one as part of that. If you are claiming you want to build a DApp for governance in Cardano, and then probably you didn't consider the delegators. How you are going to get your delegators. You didn't even consider the non-technical knowledge of delegator. You build your code based fully technical. It's going to start, as I may mention. So try your possible best and then let's get this one done. Let's see how we can refine impact with blockchain. In Web3, we often celebrate speed, like those in Solana and as skill. So, but in real system, education, governance, and sustainability matters more than velocity. From my experience, real world impact stands on three pillars. The first has to do with our context. Very important. Solution must be local realities. That is economical, cultural, and technical. Elsewhere, you could build a system that may be promoting, let's say, homosexuality, but you cannot build a system probably in our culture here or in Ghana here. So if you are building a system, you consider the culture of where you are, so that probably it will help you more. The second has to do with compatibility. People must understand what they are using and why they are using it. Your project should be able to tell them what the project is all about and why they should even use it. So compatibility very important. The last one is for continuity. We are still going to stress on this. That is the sustainability until we are done. System must survive beyond grants. Your projects are here to be supported. We are going to give you the funds to be able to execute via the Cardano treasury. But it must be able to survive beyond the grants. Probably you will get marketers and influencers to hype your projects. After the hype, what is next? And then the early adopters, when you just finish a project, one or two people will come to start using it, to test it. After these people left, will your project be able to stand? we'll be considering that in our feasibility to measure your project to see. One of the strongest lessons I've learned is that education is not an added blockchain adoption. It is an infrastructure. Some of us, we normally try to move education out of our roadmap to say that probably we'll add it after we're implementing our project. So this is where I have concern to for developers in the room just like you. It is an important lesson. Documentation alone is not an onboarding. Like GitHub comments, right? The documentation, the clear guidance that we always put, thinking that that is the education or that is enough for people to do. It is not enough for onboarding. If you say cannot explain your product to someone else, you say that if we are having what's one of the projects I will use here on Cardano. Let's use NMaker, right? This is an NFT minting platform on Cardano. So technical students or the art students here, once they are finished their product, they can go and then mint their projects on this platform and earn rewards for that. Normally they finish and then it's end up with the HUD office, which is not supposed to be so. So we can use that one to do that. Let me wrap up on the what developer can do differently. So first, design your first approach or your problem to suit your audience, not just crypto users. Most of them may mention that blockchain is totally different from crypto. Now, probably now that we are having the green light in Ghana here to advocate and then also to work on blockchain, we will now get to know much onto these things. Not just crypto users, but for what? For real impact. It's just like Web2. You can build any app on Web3 or on blockchain. Second, treat education as part of your roadmap, not as your marketing. Education should be part of your roadmap, not as marketing. Third, build with communities, not with APIs. So please, on blockchain, let's try our possibility and build with what? Human beings. Consult people. Build a community like you have. Your team. Do not let your team end here after a project. Build with them. Even if not the project that you are doing, anytime you have a project, try to consult people so that you get human impact or human contribution into it. Because APIs there, it can mislead you. API never know the environment that you are. They don't know your culture. So let's try a possible bet and build with human. The fourth one is what? Measure success with human terms. Because some of us, we are measuring success with the speed. I made mention of that. The speed is not enough. The velocity or the scale is not enough. Measure success by the number of people who are using your product. In Solana today, when you go in and check the transaction or those who are trading, it is those who are trading, not human beings. Both are trading on it. So, but when you compare to Cardano and other people, human beings are trading. So measure your sector based on human terms, not with the both or trading or on-chain activities. To have 3 developers in the room, just like you can do. You do not need to abandon your skills. Very important. You don't need to abandon your skills to build on Cardano. Cardano needs your product thinking, your UX discipline, and system design experience now more than ever. Cardano's greatest advantage is the technology. It's not the technology alone. It is what? Intentional. One of the emerging markets now is what? Privacy in the blockchain ecosystem. That is why you could see me wearing what? Midnight. Today, once any transaction that you make on blockchain, people can track and know, which is not okay. That is why it is preventing a lot of enterprise and institutions from adopting blockchain, because they don't want all things that they are doing to be what? To be public. But blockchain is public. But they want what? Selective disclosure, rational privacy. So that is what Cardano has built on. So Cardano is already ready for what? Emerging market like privacy, which we are going to see in the coming days. So if blockchain is truly going to change the world, it will not start with dashboard or white papers. It will start in classrooms, small businesses, and communities, where trust is earned slowly and impact is measured in real terms. So this is just my comments or my presentation for you. So please, let's now hear from you.